Welcome to the age of endless possibilities, where technology connects us in ways we never thought possible. Thanks to the rise of the internet, millions of people all over the globe are only ever a click away. At any given moment, we have the whole world waiting at our fingertips, ready for us to explore. But do you ever get lonely? Well, you're not alone. The irony is hard to ignore, isn't it? We're living in a time of unprecedented connectivity, yet so many of us still feel disconnected in today's fast-paced, high-tech society. So why, despite being more plugged in than any generation before, do we still struggle with feelings of loneliness and depression? Let's dive into it, shall we? Chatting with bots, not buddies. Need to know the weather or send a quick email? You probably have a virtual assistant like Siri or Alexa ready to do just that. Chatbots have replaced a lot of customer service representatives at the front lines, but increased reliance on AI-driven communication tools, while convenient, leads to less face-to-face interactions, which potentially contribute to our growing sense of isolation. Think about it. When was the last time Siri or Alexa asked you how your day was going, or shared a funny joke? AI might make our lives easier, but it can't replace the warmth and connection of a genuine human conversation. Shallow connections. In the hustle and bustle of today's world, meaningful connections can sometimes slip through the cracks. A lot of the time, people are focused only on how many followers or likes they have. Our interactions have become more superficial and focused on quantity over quality, which may lead to a lack of depth and authenticity in many of our relationships. That's why so many of us still feel lonely despite having a vast online network. We can feel deep down inside that it's all just digital noise. The social media mirage. Perfectly curated Instagram feeds can make us feel lonely and insecure. Constant exposure to the highlight reels of others can create unrealistic expectations and a gnawing sense of inadequacy. Comparison is the thief of joy, they say. It's truer now than ever. In fact, some studies have shown that more time spent online, especially when real-life relationships are already poor, can actually worsen feelings of loneliness in youths. A bad case of FOMO. Similar to our earlier point, overexposure to social media can leave us with a bad case of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Constantly worrying that everyone else is out there having amazing experiences while we're left out can take a toll on our mental health. When we succumb to our FOMO, it makes us feel inadequate, lonely, and discontented. Remember, the grass is greener on the other side. Embracing the realness of your journey and appreciating the small, genuine moments in life can be a powerful antidote to the anxiety induced by the illusion of missing out. Techno-stress and digital overload. While technology has brought us closer in many ways, it has also made it challenging to unplug. Constant notifications, emails, and virtual meetings can leave us feeling overwhelmed and mentally drained. With every buzz, update, and notification, our devices demand our attention nearly 24/7, and it can be easy to feel stressed out and overwhelmed with the constant barrage of information we get from social media, creating a sense of pressure to keep up and be on top of everything all the time. This techno-stress can lead to feelings of anxiety, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. Taking care of your mental health in the digital world. So, what's the solution? Do we throw away our smartphones and live in a cave? Not quite. The key is finding balance. Use technology mindfully and purposefully. Stop mindlessly doom scrolling and set a limit to your screen time. Connect with friends in person and take a step back and reconnect with the real, unfiltered moments of life. Remember, you're not alone in feeling lonely in this high-tech world. But the antidote to loneliness isn't hiding in your smartphone. It's out there in the real world, in genuine connections, laughter, and shared moments. So the next time you're feeling a bit lonely, maybe put down that device, look around, and embrace the beauty of human connection. After all, it's what makes life truly worth living. Wouldn't you agree? If you want to learn and understand more about loneliness, click here to watch 7 signs you feel deep loneliness and to anyone feeling lonely. And if you found this video valuable, let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go to support our content. Thanks for watching.
The hidden signs of loneliness you might be missing. Hi Psych2Goers, I'm Christine from the Yan channel. Today I will be your voiceover. Loneliness is something we've all felt at some point, but what if it's creeping into your life in ways you don't even realize? We've talked about loneliness before, but today we're diving into hidden signs of loneliness, the kind you might not even recognize in yourself. This video aims to help you uncover those subtle indicators and show you how to turn them around. What makes this video unique? We're not just giving you a list. We're exploring why these signs appear, sharing relatable stories, and offering actionable insights to make a real difference. Stick around to the end if you're curious about a quiz we're developing to help you assess your loneliness baseline. Let's dive in. Number 1. Becoming overly attached to online relationships. Online friendships can be amazing, but if you're relying solely on them, it might point to loneliness. Take Sophia as an example. She's a tech-savvy college student who spent all of her time in online forums but avoided social interactions in real life. Even social media icons like Billie Eilish have opened up about how the internet can be a double-edged sword, providing connection but also isolating us further. While online relationships can be meaningful, they shouldn't replace offline connections entirely. Number 2. Over-explaining or oversharing. Have you ever caught yourself telling the cashier your life story? Loneliness can show up as oversharing in everyday conversations because you're craving connection. Think of Taylor Swift's All Too Well, where detailed storytelling feels like an outlet for unspoken emotions. Psychologists like Brené Brown have noted that this pattern often stems from a deep need to be seen and heard, a sign of loneliness we might not realize. Number 3. Binge watching or gaming for hours. While everyone loves a good Netflix binge, consistently spending hours on shows or games could be a hidden sign of loneliness. For instance, Mark, a 30-something who found solace in online gaming, noticed he spent more time in virtual worlds than with real friends. Even Elon Musk has spoken about using work and activities to fill voids, which can sometimes echo in our entertainment habits. Escapism can feel comforting, but often deepens isolation. Number 4. Constantly keeping busy. If your calendar is always packed, it might not be productivity. It could be avoidance. Meet Emma, who spent her weekends going from one event to the next. She later realized she was distracting herself from the loneliness she felt after a breakup. Figures like Oprah Winfrey have talked about how busyness can be a mask for deeper emotional struggles. Staying busy might be a coping mechanism to avoid sitting with your emotions. Number 5. Emotional eating or loss of appetite. Have you found yourself reaching for snacks even when you're not hungry? Or, on the flip side, skipping meals because nothing sounds appealing? Loneliness can disrupt your relationship with food. For example, Sarah, a busy professional, started overeating late at night when she moved to a new city and felt disconnected. Even famed chefs like Anthony Bourdain spoke about how food can serve as emotional comfort during tough times. Emotional eating or losing interest in meals can be your body's way of coping with unmet emotional needs. Number 6. Feeling tired despite sleeping enough. Do you feel exhausted even after 8 hours of sleep? Chronic loneliness can mimic fatigue because it stresses your body and mind. Studies by researchers like Dr. John Cacioppo, a pioneer in loneliness research, have shown that loneliness can trigger a stress response, keeping your body in fight or flight mode even while you sleep. Number 7. Finding solace in nostalgia. Do you often revisit old photos, listen to songs from the past, or relive memories? Nostalgia can be comforting, but it might also signal that you're longing for a time when you felt more connected. For example, during the pandemic, many turned to childhood TV shows or playlists to cope with isolation. While nostalgia can boost mood temporarily, it can also make you more aware of what's missing in your present life. Number 8. Overspending or retail therapy. Loneliness sometimes hides in impulsive purchases. Ever bought something you didn't need just to feel good? Take Jake, who started buying gadgets he rarely used after his best friend moved away. Celebrities like Kanye West have shared how material things sometimes serve as placeholders for emotional needs. That temporary high from shopping masked a deeper void, a lack of connection. Loneliness can show up in unexpected ways, but recognizing these hidden signs is the first step toward change. Whether it's emotional eating, oversharing, or finding comfort in nostalgia, these patterns are your mind's way of asking for connection. If this video resonated with you, would you be interested in taking a quiz to assess your loneliness baseline? Let us know down in the comments. Together, we can work on moving you away from that dreaded loneliness and toward a more connected, fulfilling life. Remember, you're not alone in this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care of yourself and those around you.
Thank you, Christine, for such a wonderful voiceover. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Somnath. I'm a visual artist of this video. As an artist, I always try to send a message through my work. So today's message is, it takes courage to be kind. So practice kindness like a champion. I just want to say a big thanks to Psych2Go team for letting me participate in a great work they do. Feel free to participate in Psych2Go community to educate and express yourself. For details on how to participate, please check the description box. Thank you.
With the world population being denser than ever before, we should, in theory, never be lonely. But as we all know, loneliness is still very much alive and well. We have all encountered loneliness or are currently battling loneliness. It's normal to be lonely from time to time, but that doesn't really make it feel any better. Loneliness can become difficult to talk about because everyone experiences it differently and there are depths to it. So today we're discussing the different types of loneliness, what they mean, and how we can break out of them. Understanding the different levels of loneliness is like having a map. It helps you figure out why you're feeling lonely and what you can do about it. Level 1. Situational. The first level of loneliness is situational loneliness. This is the loneliness you feel when your circumstances are making you lonely. Either you live too far from friends or family, or your work doesn't give you time to see anyone, or there's a virus keeping everyone locked inside. You feel lonely, but you know in a wider sense, you aren't alone. You know that your friends, family, and romantic partners will be there when the opportunity arises. The problem with situational loneliness is sometimes the situation doesn't come to an end, or it lasts an extraordinarily long time. That feeling of loneliness can start to fester. It can snowball into depression, and at some point, you might feel like you really are alone. Spending time alone is great for self-reflection and emotional regulation, but spending time with people, particularly people we care about, reduces stress and gives us a sense of purpose and meaning. We found a lot of ways to cope with this type of loneliness during the pandemic. Spending an hour socializing with the people you love online can make you feel less lonely and will remind you that you aren't alone. Level 2. Social loneliness. Social loneliness happens when you feel isolated because you lack a broad social network or engaging social interactions. It's not just about missing deep emotional connections, but rather feeling disconnected from a larger group of friends or acquaintances. This is about feeling disconnected from a broader social network or lacking meaningful social interactions. You might have acquaintances or be around people but still feel like you don't belong or have deep connections. It's more about the quantity and quality of your social interactions. It's feeling like your social life is lacking. It's like having a bunch of acquaintances but no one you really connect with or feel close to. This kind of loneliness shows how important it is to have a mix of meaningful social interactions and a sense of belonging to a group. The best thing to do would be to be sociable if you can. Try to make connections wherever you are and keep an open mind. There is always a way out of loneliness. You don't need a lot of friends. Just having one friend to confide in prevents mental health issues, improves your overall mental well-being, and provides support and companionship. Level 3. Emotional loneliness. But what if you're surrounded by loved ones but still feel lonely? Maybe it's because you feel they don't really know the real you. Maybe you have to suppress yourself to keep everyone happy, and that just makes the loneliness worse. Sound familiar? We don't define loneliness as being alone. This is because loneliness is more of an emotional state than a physical one. Emotional neglect is a level of loneliness in which you have people in your life and yet it feels like you go unseen and unheard. It feels like they just don't care. This involves feeling a lack of a deep, intimate connection or emotional bond with someone. It's about missing that close, personal relationship where you feel truly understood and connected. Emotional loneliness is more about the depth of your relationships rather than the number of people you interact with. But it doesn't have to be that way. Just because certain people were dismissive doesn't mean everyone will be. For example, When we feel like our parents neglect our emotions, we turn to our close friends or romantic partners. According to a study by psychologist Dr. Josie Geller and colleagues, when people make time and space for you and are compassionate towards you, it can help you feel empowered, validated, and uplifted. Having people who care about you can help prevent other mental health concerns from arising. Our emotional well-being often goes unnoticed because we don't address it or talk about it, so try to ensure that the people in your life understand the way you feel. Level 4. Chronic loneliness. When things seem hopeless, we find ourselves in the agonizing, seemingly unending chronic loneliness. Most of us will never experience this kind of loneliness. This loneliness represents every level of loneliness, extended over time and stretched to every corner of your life. In other words, you haven't had friends or a relationship for many years, and you most likely don't have many, if any, family members to rely on. This usually occurs later in life. Chronic loneliness also often comes from a mix of things, like feeling isolated, struggling with emotional barriers, going through big life changes, dealing with mental health issues, societal pressures, and health problems. If you are chronically lonely, there needs to be a huge change in your life, like a change in career or living situation. Chronic loneliness isn't limited to older age brackets, as younger people can experience it. Again, if you are emotionally, romantically, and socially lonely for long enough, you may find yourself chronically lonely. For teenagers and young adults, this is devastating, as this is usually the time in their life when they socialize the most. Researchers found that while the likelihood of being chronically lonely at a young age is low, it isn't impossible, and with that possibility comes the increased likelihood of suicide. If you believe you are at risk of being chronically lonely, we urge you to please consider the various methods of breaking out of loneliness. Even if you don't realize it, you are loved. Remember, the time you feel lonely is the time you most need to be by yourself. Life's cruelest irony, Douglas Coupland, Shampoo Planet. Sometimes that time we spend on our own is necessary but painful. We use loneliness to reflect on ourselves. Just as we physically grow when we sleep, we mentally and emotionally grow when we are alone. But for so many, loneliness is more than that. It is a lingering pain. It breeds resentment and it reminds us of how incomplete we are. Breaking the cycle of loneliness is not a simple task. It requires a lot from you. You may have to leave your comfort zone. You may have to undertake big risks, but it will always be worth it. Because in a world of 8 billion people, no one should be lonely. Are you feeling stuck and none of the solutions we suggested are speaking to you? We highly recommend speaking to a professional and getting personalized guidance from someone familiar with your situation. Do you have any experience with getting out of loneliness? You could help a lot of people by sharing your experience in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to Psych2Go for more videos like this. See you next time, Psych2Goers.
Hey there, Psych2Go family. Welcome back to our channel. It's time to get to know our emotions even better. Loneliness is one of the most universal emotions of the human condition. If you're not sure if you're really lonely, you can check out our previous video, 7 Signs You May Be Lonely, to find out more. You feel lonely when your loved one starts to drift away from you, you don't have any friends or someone special to spend your day with, or you feel unwanted by people you care about. Here are 9 possible reasons why you feel lonely. 1. You don't know how to connect with people. Do you crave closeness in relationships but don't know how to connect with others? Having a lack of close personal relationships in your life has been shown to be the #1 reason why a lot of us feel so lonely all the time. You're friends with lots of people, but your relationship isn't founded on anything substantial. You feel lonely because having someone to make small talk to about the news or the weather isn't enough to give you the emotional fulfillment you need. 2. You're afraid of intimacy. Is it difficult for you to let people in? Are you emotionally closed off and fear vulnerability? You might be feeling so lonely all the time, not because you don't know how to be emotionally vulnerable with someone, but because you don't want to. People who are afraid of intimacy keep those around them at an emotional distance. You don't want to get too attached to someone, and you keep your guard up at all times. You fear rejection, abandonment, and heartbreak, and it holds you back from emotional connection, genuine love, and meaningful friendships. 3. You're going through a lot of change. Have you moved to a new school or a new city lately? Do you feel uncertain about what the future might bring and where it might take you? It's normal to feel lonely, lost, and confused when you're getting through a period of change. And as we get older, sometimes we outgrow certain relationships and drift apart from those we were once so close to. Change can be scary, but staying stuck in the past may only make you feel more isolated and alone, especially when everyone around you has already moved on. 4. You struggle with codependency. Codependency is what happens when you base your sense of identity and self-worth on someone else. When you're codependent on someone, you make them the source of all your happiness and put their needs above your own, which isn't healthy. You prioritize them over yourself and bend over backwards just to help them get whatever they want, and you end up losing yourself in the relationship. To devote yourself so wholly to someone who's only interested in what you can do for them is a lonely way to live, and it may be the source of all of your emotional turmoil. 5. You've lost touch with yourself. Do you know what it is you want in life, or what values and principles you want to live by, or what truly makes you happy? When you base your sense of self on your relationships with other people, you forget who you are without them. And losing touch with yourself can bring a deep sense of loneliness, because the person you spend the most time with has now become a complete stranger to you. Take the time to introspect and search your heart for answers about who you really are, and learn to live a life without being defined by those around you. 6. You're feeling misunderstood. Does it often feel like no one really knows you or understands you? Do you struggle to fit in with others? Studies show that feeling misunderstood significantly contributes to a person's sense of loneliness. Sometimes others, even your closest friends and family, just can't seem to relate to you or see you for who you really are. You might even feel judged or ostracized by those around you because of all the ways you're so different from them, which can be one of the loneliest feelings in the world. 7. You're struggling to feel worthy. Have you experienced a recent heartbreak? Were you ever rejected by someone you loved or had an important relationship end? When you struggle with feelings of worthlessness, loneliness often follows, because it's hard to move on from the pain of rejection, and even harder to not let it define our sense of self-worth. It can make anyone feel small and insignificant and feel like no one cares, and that kind of loneliness is the scariest of all. 8. You're spending time with the wrong people. Some people feel lonely when they're alone, but being alone with the wrong people can make us feel just as lonely or even lonelier. Are you friends with people you don't even like or dating someone who's wrong for you? Such relationships make you feel more drained being with them than being by yourself. You only stay with them because you're afraid of being alone, but you fail to see that they're actually the ones making you feel lonely. And 9, you may have depression. If you still struggle with loneliness, even with so many meaningful and intimate relationships in your life, it may be because you're suffering from depression. According to the American Psychological Association, chronic feelings of loneliness are one of the most telltale signs of clinical depression. This mental illness makes it so difficult for us to feel connected to other people, and often leaves us withdrawn, isolated, miserable, lethargic, and with no hope, no happiness, and no motivation to do anything. This isn't a surefire diagnosis for depression, so it's always a good idea to check in with a specialist just to be sure. Understanding the reasons behind your loneliness is an important first step towards overcoming it. It's normal to experience loneliness sometimes because it's a part of the human experience in life. But if you struggle with intense, constant, or reoccurring feelings of loneliness, it might be a sign of a much more serious underlying mental health problem. If so, don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health professional if you feel your loneliness starting to get out of hand. Did these points help you understand your feelings a little better? Do you now see what might be causing your emotions in you? Do let us know in the comments below. Also, remember to share this video with those you think might benefit from it. And as always, thanks for watching.
You're surrounded by friends at a social gathering, laughter echoing around you, and yet there's an unsettling feeling of emptiness just tugging at your heart. You wonder, am I truly connected, or am I just going through the motions? Loneliness isn't always obvious. It can lurk beneath the surface, masquerading as something else, but recognizing its subtle signs is crucial for our well-being. With that said, here are 6 surprising signs that indicate you're experiencing loneliness. Oversharing when people listen. Ever found yourself pouring out your life story to a stranger you just met? Do you tend to unload your deepest feelings onto anyone who lends an ear? While sharing experiences and emotions is healthy, oversharing can sometimes signal a longing for a deeper connection. It's as if you're hoping someone will understand you better if you lay everything out on the table. But remember, true connections are built on mutual trust and understanding, not just the quantity of information exchanged. Becoming obsessive about relationships. Is it common for you to make fast friends or fall in love quickly? But these relationships and friendships come crashing down quickly as well. Do you tend to get obsessive about relationships, wanting to spend more time than most with the people in your life? When we fixate on a particular relationship, pouring all our energy and attention into it, it's often a subconscious attempt to fill the void of emotional emptiness. This intense focus may mask underlying feelings of isolation, driving us to seek constant reassurance and closeness. But true fulfillment comes from nurturing meaningful connections, while also building a strong sense of self-worth that doesn't rely on anyone else's approval. Being overly helpful. Are you always the first to lend a hand to others, even if it inconveniences you? Being overly helpful might seem like a virtue, but it can also be a subtle cry for connection. Prioritizing others' needs keeps us from attending to our own well-being and helps us avoid our loneliness. But the feeling of being needed can't substitute for genuine companionship and belonging. And constantly sacrificing your own needs in a bid to feel valued and seek closeness can often leave you feeling even more disconnected. Spending too much time on social media. Loneliness can often drive us to seek solace in social media, which can give us the illusion of connectedness. But studies show that interacting with people more online than in real life actually deepens our feelings of loneliness instead of alleviating it. Because having so many followers and constantly seeing others' envy-inducing posts can easily leave us in a downward spiral, feeling like, I have so many friends and not one of them cares enough about me to make time to hang out with me. So next time, instead of losing more hours scrolling through social media, why not give your friends a call instead? Or go see them? Constantly seeking distractions. Being alone with uncomfortable feelings is distressing. So if you're feeling lonely, you might try to constantly fill your life with distractions. Are you always keeping yourself busy with work, hobbies, or social events? These things provide temporary relief from loneliness, but it's like trying to drown out the silence with noise. It just leaves us overworked, stressed out, and still lonely. Feeling emotionally drained after social interactions. Always leaving early or feeling like you'd rather stay home binge watching shows than hang out with friends might seem like just needing me time. But did you know it could also be a sign of secret loneliness? Sometimes when we're feeling disconnected, we avoid socializing because it feels safer to be alone. And consistently feeling drained after social interactions could indicate a lack of meaningful connection or compatibility with the people you're spending time with. If this resonates with you, know that you're not alone. Recognizing these subtle signs of loneliness is the first step towards addressing them. Reach out to friends or loved ones. Seek professional help if needed. And remember, you deserve to feel seen, heard, and valued in this world. So, what's one small step you can take today to nurture a deeper connection with yourself or someone else? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. Your experiences and insights might resonate with others who are going through similar feelings. And if you found this video helpful, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful mental health videos like how childhood emotional abuse affects you as an adult, and why does today's world make you so lonely? Thanks for watching.